Hello everyone, this is Brian Bentley at CoinOpTV bringing you gameplay and commentary for Tales of Zestiria on the PlayStation 4. Bandai Namco has brought their illustrious Tales series to the PlayStation 4, and honestly I couldn't be happier. If you'd go back through the CoinOpTV archives, you can catch my video on Tales of Zestiria 2, which I played on the PlayStation 3, and I definitely had that feeling that, wow, okay, this game's starting to look a little old. The engine's looking a little old. Maybe it's time to give this a little boost, bring it up to the new gen. And Bandai Namco has done that here with Tales of Zestiria. Now, one thing for those who don't know, the Tales series, the story of the game doesn't really carry over. So, one game to the next, you're not playing the same characters. The only one, of course, is Zestiria, where, Tales of Zestiria 1 and Tales of Zestiria 2, even though it was the only story really where there was a through line, per se. In Tales of Zestiria, it's a completely new world, new characters. A lot of the elements are the same, let's say. But where the Tales series, the continuity is in the gameplay and the mechanics. So all of the missions, or battles, are all action-based. Missions are much the same. A lot of times the art style is very similar, but there's no these characters you're playing with here are not a part of any of the other games. Now you will notice there's a few things where, like the guy in the blue, his name's Mikaleo, and he has sunglasses on. So one of the things you can do as you go through the world is you end up collecting these cosmetic changes, and sometimes it's hairstyles, and sometimes it's like a pair of sunglasses. I put bat wings on the woman on the right because I could. I mean, it's not like you need to sit here and really think about it too hard, but it does make for these scenes. It kind of gives it this own flavor, especially when Mikaleo is not what I would say a particularly cool character. He may try to be, but he's not particularly cool, so the fact that he walks around with sunglasses, especially right now at night, just makes it funnier. So, overall, the story is the main character, Sore. He is taken on the mantle of the shepherd. The shepherd is kind of like the hero. So one of the things I really like in Zestiria that is not the same through some of the other Tales games is Sore really makes the decision. Yes, he did just go Super Saiyan right there. I'm just saying he does. And alright, we'll get to him transforming in just a minute, but the point I want to make is that he makes the decision to be a hero. So he knows that there are consequences of his actions. They make that very apparent in the game. He makes these choices throughout the game that will affect, that do affect other decisions that you need to make later on. And it's a nice contrast to the normal oh, hey, look, here's this kid who wakes up in the forest and, he's, quote-unquote, destined to be the hero. He doesn't remember anything, of course, because he has, amnesia or something, but that's not really the point. This game, it focuses more on Sore making the decision to be the hero. So now we're getting into this boss battle against this Drake. And one of the things that, happens within the game is that you have this understanding that every area used to have this blessing of the Seraphs. So there are humans like myself, and the girl with the pink, with the bat wings, she has a spear. So we're humans, and the girl with the green grayish hair, her, and the little girl with the umbrella, and the guy with the sunglasses, they are seraphim, you know, so they're spirits, essentially. Now, they can still fight just like we do, except I can use, if by quote-unquote connecting with the seraphim, I can transform into this, they call it armatize. So the girl with the long hair, she is a sword and is a fire user, so you will all of a sudden you will be in red, you know, like you'll have white with, you know, red trimming, and you have this giant sword and you're slashing, and that's pretty cool. When you are with McLeo, you have a bow and arrow and you're more of a ranged character. And he's okay. And then the girl with the umbrella, Edna, she actually puts on, you turn into yellow, your earth. And you have like these giant, basically giant rock boxing gloves, and you can just start pummeling people or pummel the ground. There are some really neat, I was gonna call them skills. They're not skills in here. They're called arts. So there are some really neat arts in the game that you can use. Oh no, I thought I brought out Edna at some point, and not a Lila. But in this particular case, you'll notice that next to my face, I'm all in that kind of blue-white glowy bits. There's a number next to my face, and that's called a blast gauge. So that when I'm using the blast gauge, I can, when I'm in this particular mode, you'll notice I just used one there to heal everybody on the field of battle. So I can use my special arts during the battle, but I can also use a blast gauge to heal everybody. Now, I keep meaning, I have to admit that I'm only, 9-10 hours into the game at this point, so I'm still getting used to some of the mechanics of being armatized, because I probably could use the armatization a little more than I do, but I don't know. I mean, I only use it when I'm really kind of getting bumped by or being attacked by many mobs. Oh, Layla went down, so now Edna will come out and fight. And I do use some consumables because, let's face it, I'm getting hurt, and I'm down to one blast gauge, and I'm kind of holding. Oh, never mind. I did just use the blast gauge to. You can also use it as a special art for attacking the enemy, and I really needed to do some damage to this guy, so I used the blast gauge on him. I thought it was actually a little closer to the end. You'll notice that for the guy, there is a, that kind of arrow above him, and it's how much is in there. Now, in other instances of Tales games, and this is such a small thing, but you'll notice that there's just a tiny bit there, and I keep looking you'll notice I keep pausing the game momentarily to see how many hit points he has left, because before that little bit at the top, at the bottom, it honestly would have been blank, and that would have been a visual cue to me that he is really at the end of this thing. Except in this particular version of in Tales of Zestiria, they don't take that bit away, so I keep losing track of the visualization of how much his health is left. So I do end up going and pausing a little more often to see how many hit points he has. I think he's down to 217 right now. And so I'm going in for, like, the super kills, or, like, I have this swirling move. Oh, I got caught in that whirlwind at the end. But now that we've finished, and it gives you a grade at the end. Now, I did not get a very good grade because I did not do particularly well. I don't like to armatize with McLeo very much, and they forced me to do it. I prefer Edna because I really like the giant boxing gloves. And you'll notice I got up, everybody leveled up, we got some proficiencies. So that is one of the additions that they have in this are the proficiencies. So each weapon you use, you get a little better at with that weapon, and the weapon's power increases as you use it. They also have fusions for the weapons where you can increase the builds on the weapons themselves. So say you have 2 elven circlets, and you can fuse them. You can pay a small fee to fuse them together, which will get them more, which will increase the skills. And then you have to look at what skills that each of those things have, because there are 49 skills or stat boosts that you can collect. And by putting on different armors with those stat boosts, you can increase those stat boosts if they are, you know, in the same row or column. So imagine there is a... It's not... Oh, did I say... Wait, yeah, it's got to be 49. That's right. Except 49 doesn't break down into 5 very well. That doesn't matter. There are 5 rows, and each of those rows indicates a, you know, like wind, water, fire, earth. Oh, non-elemental. I was like, wait, that's not 5. I can count. How about that, everybody? And then there's a skill for each of those. So you can actually, if you have, say, for attack, you know, you have, you know, a skill for the non-elemental, the fire, you know, and you have one of each of those 5. You get a bonus because it stacks. They call that a G unit, or not G unit. That's G union. Sorry, not unit. Union. Sorry for my references there. My game reference. And then you can have multiple ones. So say you have attack, defense, and arts attack, and those 3 are in a row, then those 3 then stack, as long as they're all in the same element. So now you have columns and rows, and you're trying to build more and varied different you know, elements along with skills in order for them to stack. Yes, it gets complicated. So there is the part where there's, you know, cute story and you know, cute little, you know, scenes and skits, and, you know, everything's, you know, haha cute JRPG. And then there's the serious side. There's the math side where you're like really sitting there going like, okay, I need to fuse this weapon, but I've already fused this weapon once, and I got a really good skill, and I got that sealed in there, and so I don't want to use that again because I don't want to lose that sealed skill that's built in there. So there's just a lot to it. So while, you know, maybe this JRPG is not for everybody, maybe you're not into JRPGs, but if you are, Tales of Zestiria is going to take up a bunch of your time, which can be a great thing. If you're looking for a great JRPG for, you know, the end of 2015, if maybe some of the other games that are out this fall, this holiday season, or, you know what you can do? Buy the game, shelve it, and there will be something at the beginning of next year that will be waiting for you to play. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.